Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic:
what do rich people have now that everyone will have in 5 to 10 years? Any new 2023 car they are buying now. I will buy it as used 2023 car in 5 years. Used cars are getting insanely expensive. Have you looked lately? Just got a new Corolla for less than the dealer was selling the 2024. Nuts. This is likely a short-term problem that will correct itself in a few years. This type of cycle happens. Addictions to substances we haven't heard of yet. Maybe Yankum will make a comeback. Dude, the news segment where the anchor really emphasizes, aka butt hash, still makes me chortle. Prescription drugs whose patent has run out and can be produced with a generic name for far less. Looking forward to Emgality. Whoop, no more migraines. Nah, they'll just be like, it's for foot pain now, and slap a new patent on that bad boy. I drive a 2021 Nissan Sentra. Wife and I were just talking today about how this entry-level car has standard features that were only in high-end and luxury cars just 10 years ago. I'd never imagined that hands-free phone, navigation, lane departure etc. would be found in a cheap car. But here we are. This car has all the features I would ever need. A lot of those features are being mandated by the federal government. Rear-view cameras are transformational safety features. Also, I can reverse park into tight spaces so smoothly that onlookers have been known to faint from the sexual tension. Peptides, stem cells and gene therapies. 5 to 10 years might be optimistic, but I hope so. Peptides are already a thing. Some are already approved for an array of ailments. In fact, antibodies and other biologicals are already being used for a whole host of disorders. We've all seen them on TV ads. Cellular therapy is coming, and in some ways already here. CAR T therapy is already being used for a variety of cancers. My lab is working on preclinical research on some lab-grown tissue therapy. A group has already developed cellular therapy for retina that received FDA approval. Gene therapy is moving quickly through clinical trials for many disorders. Sickle cell anemia gene therapy has made it through trials and is treating patients. Production of the viral vectors necessary to deliver gene therapy is so hot right now that production scientists are seeing 20 to 40% growth in pay annually. I will say stem cell therapy is only available to the rich mostly because it is unproven. Be very wary of online stem cell therapies. These things are often wildly expensive and have shown something between 0 and very limited positive results. Oftentimes the injection of cells causes an inflammatory response that can repair tissue, but could be accomplished much more cheaply by injecting anything that causes inflammation. The reason stem cell therapy isn't available broadly is because it cannot pass FDA approval for effectiveness. It'll transition down from basically having to hire your own team scientists to do their own research specifically for you to something that will be offered in higher tech hospitals. Not really accessible, but more so than what it currently is. Right now people are getting gene therapies and they do work, but it's so experimental and in low supply due to being so new. It's like when they invented penicillin, it was so rare and hard to do that they had to try and recover remnants from urine from the first guy they used it on. But then slowly it became more used and accessible due to more doctors having access to the tech, doing supplemental research, and becoming more refined and efficient in its use and creation. Not rich, but just got a stem cell transplant as part of my plasmablastic lymphoma treatment. They took my own stem cells, destroyed my immune system, hopefully destroying all the cancer with it, and rebuilt my immune system with my own stem cells. It was wild watching my white blood cells go to 0 and then when the new stem cells took hold, watching the counts go back up. It was a very grueling and dangerous experience, and I'm not out of the woods by any means. But it was something that seemed out of sci-fi. They can't grow a new heart or liver yet, but can grow a completely new immune system. Just happy I have great insurances. Definitely not submersible submarines. So non-submersible submarines then. Turns out that's the kind that took those tourists to the Titanic. A lot more money that's worth a lot less. For cars, look at what new features the Mercedes-Benz S550 is offering. The new features on the 550 usually end up on less expensive cars 10 to 15 years later. Think adaptive cruise control and the like. Edit. Mercedes had adaptive cruise control in 1999. I have an S580, and the augmented reality heads-up display is sweet. Like a fighter jet showing you where to turn, etc. More children of the magenta line. There was a time when chocolate and pineapple had this kind of status. Motherfucking celery was a luxury item. They made vases specifically to display your celery. It was a clear sign of wealth. Isn't that the same with grass lawns? I'm so rich I can devote all this land to useless grass. Pineapple is awesome. Have you ever wondered why every other European language calls it an anus? I think everyone had heard how great it was from the Spanish, but no one in England had seen one. So some con man shows up with a ship full of fleshy plantains and manages to sell it as bananas. Before anyone gets there with a real pineapple. Wow, I need to get out more. Have you ever wondered why every other European language calls it an anus? Apple is an Old English word that just means fruit. Looks like a pine cone, so you get pine fruit. It's for this reason that there are golden pineapples adorning the top of St. Paul's Cathedral in London. At the time, a pineapple would have set you back the equivalent of around £5,000. People would buy them and simply display them until long after the mold set in. Of course, now you can get one for very little money. They're kind of ridiculous looking. And St. Paul's is stuck with them.